So this is going to be one of our biggest ones. This is point 3. This is a malware IPS prevention. Pretty much what the firewall is meant for, and really the security in a nutshell is protecting against malware and intrusion prevention from bad actors coming from outside your network, coming inside. So our use cases here are going to be internal to external malware enforcement. So maybe an employee's endpoint that has some malware on it or some adware on it, and they don't have endpoint protection. They try to phone out to the internet to maybe a botnet site or something malfeasant that way. We want to be able to mitigate against that and prevent that from happening before it actually hits the web. This is a supplement to endpoint protection. Now, security is multifaceted, so we want to ensure that we have both a nice endpoint protection that can protect your endpoints, but also create malware protection, IPS intrusion prevention, adware protection as well on the firewall. This is also good for external, internal. So we have a lot of clients that have application websites or application servers rather that are facing the external web, be it in a DMZ or other quarantine subnet network. So what we'd like to look at right now is a simple malware test, and this is actually very helpful. I challenge all of you to visit the site metal.fortiguard.com, because what it will do is it will create some artificial viruses on your network, and it will show you how protected are you, what's your overall security posture. Really cool. We're going to see it in real time, and we're going to see the actual firewall pick up these fake viruses, and it will show in the logs what kind of virus was picked up, how many, and again, most importantly, who was the user that actually viewed or tried to open up these viruses. So again, we're back in our FortiGate firewall. And we're going to look at our forwarding policy right here. Again, LAN to WAN, that's the one that we've been focusing on. And again, we're going to look at the security profile. We talked a little bit about the antivirus profile a bit earlier. Right now, we're just going to keep the default on, but that's going to be on. So basically, any LAN to WAN traffic, so internet traffic, is going to be looked at and inspected for viruses. After we add that, we're going to go ahead and go to our metal.fortiguard.com. And we're going to run the simple test to determine how good is your overall security. In a perfect world, we would run the test and everything would fail, meaning that it would be able to block all your viruses. But in this case, we're going to see what happens if your firewall does block it and is able to catch all the viruses in their tracks. It's going to run about a dozen different tests, and we'll see here every single one is being blocked by the FortiGate firewall. Take a couple minutes to run all the tests, but what it's going to be doing is going to be trying multiple zip files that are embedded within each other, which we often see. We might see a zip file that has multiple zip files embedded within it, sort of a nesting doll type situation. Basically, that's an effort to obfuscate itself and get by the firewall. A lot of firewalls don't have up-to-date virus definitions. It definitely would not be catching some of these. So now, most importantly, we're going to go to our logs and we're going to see these viruses hitting our firewall in real time here. So we go to the log and report. We're going to click on the antivirus section here. And we're going to see that Maust, again, me. I'm looking at a lot of bad stuff over here. We can see all the different viruses that are failing to get through to our internal subnets and LAN segments. We can see that everything has been blocked. We can see the nature of the virus itself. We can see the source of where that virus came from. And we can also see the definition. In this case, it's an ICAR test file. And a little bit of information about the actual file, which is very helpful. So you can see the nature of the virus and the file name itself. So you can see, as I spoke on before, we have a multiple embedded file where you have this zip after zip after zip. Again, an effort to get past that firewall and make its way to your internal LAN. Again, in a next generation firewall, this is one of the key features that you're going to be looking for, because ultimately a firewall is synonymous to security prevention, or security protection rather, and intrusion prevention. So we're going to want to be able to posture ourselves in a way that we're ensuring that our LAN is protected, our WAN is protected. And even if we have endpoint protection, this acts as that secondary gateway to prevent any other viruses from leaving the network, like I said, going to a botnet or something like that. And it prevents websites from connecting into your internal networks, maybe via a port forwarding statement or NAT statement, and getting inside access. So we hear that all the time in the news, and it can be devastating from a liability standpoint as well. So again, one of the key features to look for, and you want to make sure that your firewall is up to date, your virus signatures are up to date, 0 days are up to date, and they're constantly evolving too. So we want to make sure that overall, we're going to be postured correctly.